And welcome everybody to another Nothing Like a Good Book. And in this case, there's two of them, not one, but they belong together. By my author guest is Prabha Karan. Cherish or Perish is the name of one, and Who Banged the Big Bang is the other. Prabha is a distinguished metaphysicist. He's an engineer, an entrepreneur, with over 25 years of dedicated research into casualty, creation, infinity, consciousness, and self-development. Now, his lifelong quest to explore the deeper dimensions of reality has led him to bridge the gap between the scientific and the metaphysical, noticing that many thinkers, scholars, scientists, and curious readers often struggle to grasp trans-scientific ideas. So Prabha has made it his mission to present these profound concepts in a clear, thank God, accessible and contemporary manner. I mean, heavy stuff. Through this approach, he brings complex insights within reach of readers from all walks of life. How about that? So, welcome, Prabha Karan. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Mark. How are you?
Well, not too bad at all. Pouring at the moment where I am. We got a bit of rain, which is very, very nice. Okay, my friend, Cherish or Perish. I'm going to read an excerpt from it to start. This book will transform and perhaps even save your life. Indeed, it possesses the potential to do even more, but only if you sincerely commit to applying its lessons wholeheartedly. To be more precise, your transformation hinges entirely upon your willingness to harness and wield your intellect with unwavering intention and discipline. All right, my friend, cherish or perish. What did all that mean? Tell me. In fact, why did you take an interest in metaphysics, and how do you share these findings with others, really?
Okay, so right from my childhood, I was always fascinated by space and what's beyond the universe. So that's the starting point. And thereafter, the related questions, it bothered me always in my life, like why is the disparity between the rich and poor? Why did we born as a human being? And if there is something as called as a God or a God principle, why there is so much suffering in the world? So these are some of the questions. It might occur to many people, and for many it could just pass away. But for me, it clinged on to me all my teenage life. So thereafter, I thought, in parallel to my professional career, I thought this study is very important. So I ventured into the study and research of metaphysical concepts.
Fantastic. Where are you from originally, my friend?
I'm from the south of India. It's a place called Madurai. It's south of Chennai.
Ah, okay. Now this book, we're talking two books, aren't we? We're talking Cherish or Perish is the first one, which is about strengthening your intellect to save the world, okay? So let's take that one first before we get into the back, because one leads into another. This is the whole thing. Cherish or Perish, and who banged the Big Bang? Well, that's a question and a half, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Okay. In Cherish or Perish, you say that our entire fate hangs on a single thread. The intellect, I mean, what exactly is this intellect, and why is it so misunderstood?
Okay, so this particular concept of intellect, for us to understand it very clearly, we need to understand the difference between mind and intellect. So that's the starting premise, because the very reason, including the Department of Psychology, there is no clear distinction between mind and intellect. Sometimes many of the psychologists even equate the mind and intellect as interchangeable words. But there is a clear distinct difference between the mind and intellect. If you permit me, I can explicitly say what is the difference between the mind and intellect. Is it okay?
By all means, yeah.
So when we say the mind is the seat of all our desires, likes and dislikes, and all our emotions, anger, greed, positive and negative, sympathy, empathy, love, affection. So these are all our emotions. So all these are seated in the mind. And the building block is flow of thoughts. If you consider all your desires, it expresses as flow of thoughts from your mind to an object or being. All your emotions expresses or manifest as flow of thoughts. All your likes, even the dislikes, what you don't like, it manifests as flow of thoughts. So that's where the mind is. Now the important thing is, what is an intellect? The building block is same, thought. The intellect also expresses in the form of a thought, but it's a thought, singular. Intellect expresses always as a single precise thought. And this thought is the one within you that reasons, that judges, that discriminates between good and bad, that makes choices, that makes assessments. So this is a single powerful thought which has the capacity to regulate, control, moderate the flow of thought. What is the flow of thought? Is your mind. So the hierarchy is the intellect supposed to control, regulate, and moderate your mind.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
You say in your book, in Cherish or Perish, that the intellect is an aspect of your personality that is responsible for validating your observations. Now, it manifests in the form of a single, precise thought.
Exactly.
Right? It is discrete and involves your capacity to think, exercise reason, logic, and comparison, and discriminate between what is acceptable and what is not, and analyze, correct, and analyze and draw the inferences from data. So the distinction between the mind and the intellect will be important in understanding your ideas in this book, Cherish or Perish, right? Because the intellect thinks. The mind,
Exactly.
the mind cannot think.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely right.
So let me ask you this. You distinguish between studying, reflecting, and contemplating. So why are these three different, and why does each matter for intellectual strength?
Exactly. That's a good observation. Now, these three distinct words, studying, reflecting, and contemplating. So when you study any subject, what you gather is just a piece of information or knowledge. So any amount of study that you take in the initial stage, it always comes with some quantum of doubts, isn't it? When you study a paragraph, when we read a paragraph, or when we read one chapter of a book, it's not just during your first reading, you get all the information correct. It always comes with certain doubt within it. So that is, but nevertheless, you don't stop studying. So the first stage is you gain knowledge, but this knowledge is packed with loads of doubt. That's where the next step comes, reflection. Reflection is nothing but deploying your existing intellect, apply that on the information that you read. Test that information with reason and logic. So when you reflect in the sense, when you think it over in different angles, as it were, all your doubts slowly gets clarified. So reflection helps in clearing all the doubts that you gained as a knowledge. So studying is gaining knowledge, reflection is getting doubtless knowledge, right? So next is contemplation. Why do you have to contemplate? So that when you contemplate is thinking it over again and again. What you have read as a doubtless knowledge, what you gained as a doubtless knowledge, when you think it over and over again, what happens within your personality is there is always a gap between what you know and what you are. In terms of your studies, you want to improve yourself. You want to be a better person. For that reason, you study and reflect. You might have gained the knowledge, doubtless knowledge, but there is always a gap between what you know and what you are. To bridge that gap, contemplation helps. Contemplation, in other words, helps you to gain the wisdom of what you have learned. So this way, you deploy your intellect in every step of the way, and that helps in strengthening your intellect.
Interesting. Very interesting. It's almost like saying, look, don't try and do something you're not meant to do. It's not you.
People can talk about many things, many value systems in life, but I'm not criticizing anyone. But you can preach so many things. But if you are not living up to the value systems that you preach, then you live a hypocritical life. So that's why to bridge the gap between your knowledge and wisdom, contemplation really helps.
Well, another excerpt from the book, Cherish or Perish. It's crucial and a liberating truth. Questioning. Questioning does not mean rejecting everything indiscriminately. Instead, it means developing the discernment and intellectual rigor to evaluate ideas and information based on their actual merits and inherent truths. Thoughtful questioning empowers you to build strong convictions born from your understanding rather than impulsively absorbing the herd mentality that surrounds you.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the book is titled Cherish or Perish. I'm speaking with Prabha Karan, who's the author. The guy's a genius. I mean, he's a metaphysical, engineer. His metaphysical methodologies in his engineering ventures achieve both personal growth for him and significant material success. He firmly believes that anyone can embark on this transformative journey and with the right mindset, accomplish extraordinary things. He currently resides in Dubai, though, with his wife, Rosh, who unconditional support has been integral to his endeavors. See, behind every brilliant man, there's a great woman. There's no doubt about that. Look, your book is titled Cherish or Perish. Why is this choice? Why is it so urgent right now for individuals and for humanity?
I've deliberately chosen this title because there is no middle ground between the choice that you have. Either you develop your intellect and achieve human perfection. If you don't use and develop and strengthen your intellect, all your choices are going to be led by your mind. Mind is your personality that asks for anything in the world. So that's the reason you cherish your intellect. You can fine-tune your personality. You can achieve the utmost perfection what a human being can achieve. On the contrary, if you neglect your capacity to think, if you neglect the word intellect in you, what happens is you slowly succumb to your mind. All the choices will be led by your mind. And mind is something that has no directions or dimension. It wants everything in the world. Eventually, it will lead to the destruction of the personality. So you cherish, you achieve perfection. If you don't use your intellect, in one day or the other, it will lead to your destruction. That's why it's perish.
Okay. We're sliding into the second book, Who Banged the Big Bang? Now, as mentioned in Cherish or Perish, can meditation actually sharpen the intellect, or is it often misunderstood? And for that matter, how does it connect to the philosophy mentioned in Who Banged the Big Bang?
All right. Now, it's not that when you meditate, you develop a stronger intellect. It's the other way. When you have a stronger intellect, you will be able to meditate properly. Now, for us to understand meditation, we need to define what meditation is. What exactly the anatomy of meditation. What exactly happens in meditation is the person sits in a comfortable position. That's the external appearance.
Yeah, but not everybody has to sit with legs crossed, right? Because that's difficult for a lot of people.
It's a general posture I'm talking about. But at you can sit in any comfortable position you want.
Okay.
Your external posture is totally irrelevant in meditation. In other words, so in meditation, what exactly should happen is, meditation is the capacity of your intellect to keep your mind in a single thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts. And this should be under the continuous, constant observation by the intellect. So this is how meditation, this is what should happen in meditation.
Sure.
In other words, I defined meditation. Now, in reality, what happens when there are so many meditation courses and stuff, fine, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, when they sit on meditation, after 2 or 3 minutes, then the mind slowly creeps in and takes over. Instead of the mind being in a single thought, the mind might jump into the past or go back, go to the future, think about the future. And everybody who is meditating can ask themselves what exactly happens within their personality when they meditate. So this is all. If you have a stronger intellect, you can hold the mind to a relatively longer duration. In other words, your intellect can hold the mind in a single thought. What we studied earlier, mind expresses as flow of thoughts. Its general tendency is to express as a continuous flow of thoughts. Meditation is a very advanced state where the mind itself has to come in a single thought, and the intellect should observe that single thought and ensure that single thought does not multiply into stream of thought flow. So that's where, when you are having a relatively stronger intellect, you will be able to meditate for a sustained period of time.
Okay. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to get through all my questions now that I've researched here. I've got a few to get through, but I'm okay. Now listen, in Who Banged the Big Bang? Okay, trans scientific mysteries. They're decoded and simplified for people who, you'd like to get into these books. It's available on Amazon, right? Yep.
Yeah,
and,
it's available.
Yeah, $2.99 for the ebook. It's truth. I mean, it's cheaper than a coffee at Starbucks, isn't it? And $13 for the paperback. They're brilliant books, heavy. I think you've got to really sit down and focus. What I want to ask you next, the Big Bang. Who banged the Big Bang? How is the concept of the subtle body expanded upon from its mention in Cherish or Perish, the previous book we were talking about? How would you define subtle, gross, and casual bodies to a casual audience?
All right. Okay. So when we talk
the short
about
version. Give me the short version.
The short version, the gross body is nothing but the physical body. The physical, the tangible body, which is anybody can understand. The doctors know in and out of it. The subtle body is something which I mentioned earlier. It predominantly comprises of the mind and intellect, but it has also your memory and ego. So these four put together forms the subtle body. Subtle body, in other words, the non-anatomical important components of your personality is the subtle body. This is the subtle body that directs the physical body to act. And this subtle body cannot appear from nowhere. It has to have its own origin somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
so the potential form of the subtle body and your gross physical body, it's only an inference. You can only infer that it should have originated from some principle. Okay. So that principle, we call it as causal body. That causal body is the cause for the subtle body to emerge, and this subtle body, which comprises of your mind, intellect, memory, and ego directs your physical body to act. So that's the causal body, subtle body, and gross body.
Okay. So mind and intellect then, I notice they're both repeated concepts in both of your books. How do they differ from each other, and why is the distinction important then?
The distinction, as I think, as I've explained earlier, the whole world, including the people who are dealing with mind and intellect, those are the psychologists, they themselves do not know the distinction between the mind and intellect. Intellect is the capacity to think, reason, and judge, as we discussed earlier. And mind is the seat of your desires, emotions, likes and dislikes, attachments, preferences. All that is hosted in the mind.
2 books, Who Banged the Big Bang, coming from Cherish or Perish by Prabha Karan. And in what way, Prabha, does Cherish or Perish provide a baseline understanding for the concepts presented in Who Banged the Big Bang?
Yeah, to understand the contents in the Who Banged the Big Bang, the basic understanding that you need to have is your non-anatomical composition, what you are comprised of. The entire scientific community talks about the Big Bang only in its gross manifestation. Gross manifestation in the sense what they can see, what they can physically see. The material universe they understand, but they also understand a human being is also part of the universe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So the collective, the entire human beings of entire planet Earth, you calculate, and we don't know there are a lot of habitable planets in different galaxies. We don't know whether there are human beings or not. Assuming there are.
There's all sorts, but the thing is now you've got to open the mind to believe when the one source, the one force created the Big Bang. And the Big Bang itself made wonderful universes, thousands and thousands of planets, aliens, different languages, different God knows what. And humans, us, I truly believe we're just we're the testing ground. You know what I mean? We're here.
Testing, exactly. You're right.
That's it. We're here to learn. And look at the wars. Look at the way we treat each other. Look at every darn thing. They must look at us and laugh. No wonder they won't come in some ways. But look, I got to get on with this. One key point of Who Banged the Big Bang is infinity. So, Prabha, what is the pursuit of the infinite, and how does the strength and intellect assist us in pursuing infinity?
Exactly. Now, this is
just explain some of the gaps for me in science, right, that ancient wisdom can explain.
Yeah. So what exactly, this is something, this question that you have asked is in relation with the previous question as well. So I was explaining about the tangible universe, the material universe. Mm-hmm. But then collect all the living beings, including the animals. So we all have a physical body that's been absorbed by the Big Bang. But we all have a subtle body, as we discussed. We have a mind and intellect. You have a mind and intellect. Entire human beings of the entire planet Earth have mind and intellect. All the animals have mind. They have feelings. They have emotions, correct? So collectively put together, your subtle body, my subtle body of the animal, subtle body of the entire 8-9 billion human beings on Earth. Those collectively form the subtle universe, as it were. Can you visualize that?
Yeah.
All the gross physical body put together is the gross universe.
Yeah.
So this mind and intellect, feelings, emotions of everybody put together, what we call as a subtle universe. So before the gross universe formed, there must be an avenue for all these thoughts to have been existed in a potential way. So that we call it a subtle universe. That involves your mind and intellect. That involves my mind and intellect. That involves everyone's mind and intellect. So that's where this book hinges on. It starts from the causal universe, expands to a subtle universe, then this Big Bang, this gross universe.
So what are the three intrinsic properties of matter then, and why do they matter?
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's a little deeper question that you have asked. When we say intrinsic property of matter, if you observe the universe, the entire universe, if you see the entire beings in the universe, do three things at a time. Either we take in knowledge, knowing happens at some time in everyone's life. Knowing happens. If they are not reading or studying anything, they do something, correct? They act.
Mm-hmm.
If they neither studying anything nor acting on something, what is left out is resting. So if you observe your life, right from the day you are born till this last nanosecond, you have all you did was either knowing something or doing something or resting. Isn't it?
You're a great believer of past lives, aren't you?
So these three are the intrinsic properties of
All right.
matter.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to explain your thoughts are also made of some form of a subtle matter. So that's why it's very important to understand the intrinsic properties of matter.
Right. Yeah, it has, we could go all day on manifesting and thoughts.
It's a big topic. It's a very deeper topic. We need one full day to discuss this.
Yeah, I need another brain to understand it. I didn't do metaphysics, I can tell you that. Who Banged the Big Bang and Cherish or Perish? Two great books, deep books, but once you get into it, his accent is beautiful. But I think reading the books is going to be easier for you because he's made it easy to understand. For instance, I haven't read any accolades yet, and I should. Kristen Sear as an example. New York, she's in you. When did the universe begin? All right, peoples, when did it begin? How did the universe, with its beings, come into existence? So why does the universe exist even at all? What was there before the Big Bang? That's interesting. What is the purpose of human life? So this is what Prabha Karan dives deep into the mysteries of universe as a metaphysicist and the purposes of human existence in his trans-scientific must-read, Who Banged the Big Bang? It examines the principles of causality, the importance of mental discipline, and the spiritual path of yoga. Kick myself. I always wanted to do yoga and I never took it up, including karma and self-realization. It's a unique book that clearly defines man's place in the universe and his purpose. So there you go. That one's from Christian. And there's tons more. But I go to Amazon, have a look at the covers there. Cherish or Perish. Who's the author again, Mark? Prabha Karan. Let me spell it. Prabha. Prabha Karan, Karan. All right, if you want to strengthen your intellect, you can save the world. Woo, you don't have to be Superman. Who Banged the Big Bang? That's trans-scientific mysteries there, decoded and simplified. All right, talk about great gifts. Woo. Who Banged the Big Bang? It does bring complex topics to a wide audience with detailed explanations, well-defined terms, and an easy-to-comprehend writing style. So the book challenges readers to think beyond the pages. This is the key, offering a basis for them to expand upon from their knowledge. It expands upon concepts presented in Prabha's adjacent book, Cherish or Perish, offering resources for readers looking to expand their intellect and gain a better understanding of the universe through science, philosophy, and spirituality. Wow, my friend, you've got a couple of beauties here, haven't you? Huh? You must be. How are they? They're out there now. Should I ask? Are they moving for you on Amazon?
It's relatively going very well.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. Indeed. So it's available in ebook, and 355 pages. This is Who Banged the Bing Bang. And, put it this way. You need to get the two of them, don't you? Really?
They can start with Cherish or Perish, and if they find it relatively interesting, maybe they can, forms the basis for their understanding to the next book. But even the other book also is a little bit lengthier, but I have taken some pain. At least it took 12 years to complete both the books, and I've tried to write in as simple as possible way.
Wonderful. Clever stuff. Well, I think you're really adding to humanity for the good and the way the world is right now. Something fantastic there. I wish you all the luck in the world, all the serious success in the world. I hope a lot of people read these because I know they sound heavy. They're heavy, frightened the death out of me when I got some research, but because I didn't think didn't understand much. But when you think about it and you look past the pages, as he says in his writing, we do it every day. We have intellect. And we're subtle, and we're spiritual. We have souls, and life goes on, energy goes on, and so on and so on and so on. But I've always wondered, how did the Big Bang start, and what happens with that, how it affects us, what it does. But Prabha Karan is the author. Go to Amazon.com. By the way, do you have a website at all?
Yeah, it is www.vedantic.org.
Hang on. I got to get my dialect back on. Dub, and then say the rest for me slowly, please.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, keep going.
It's Vedantic, VEDANTIC.
Start again. D for donkey or whatever, but go each one. All right, tell me.
It's V for victory.
V for Victor, right?
E.
Right, E for echo, yes.
E for echo, D for donkey.
D for donkey or delta, okay.
A for apple.
What's the next one? Sorry?
A for apple.
A for apple, okay. Or alpha, right.
N for November.
N for November, right.
Yeah. T for Tom.
T for Tom, all right.
I for Indiana.
I for India, yes.
C for Charlie.
C for Charlie.
Yeah. .org.
.org.
Yeah. Can you
I got it all.
Vedantic.
Vedantic.
Yes, you got it.
All right. Beautiful. Vedantic.org, ladies and gentlemen. Vedantic.org. VEDANTIC.org. What is it? Is it a non-profit foundation?
It's a non-profit foundation. It's based in India.
There you go.
But we have some plans to do in the US as well, similar work.
Fantastic. All right. All right.
Any proceeds, it goes to charity in terms of the book proceeds. Yeah.
So sales of the books go to charity. That's something to know through this .org. See, I didn't know that. That's wonderful news. Good on you. Thank you, my friend. It's time to go. I'm over time, but that's quite okay. I wish you all the best luck in the world. As I've already said that, I know. But how do I say in your language, all the very best?
Adavum nandru.
Okay. Then I believe you.
All right. Thanks for having me on your show, Mark.
That's lovely having you. Which dialect are you, by the way?
That's in Tamil.
Okay. India is a beautiful country. So many darn dialects, though, you can easily get lost.
You're right.
But wonderful country. And I'm convinced I had a past life in India. I'm sure of that. But anyway, listen, I've got to go. Goodbye. And
thank you.
I'll make sure that a copy of the interview and everything is, once it's been thoroughly distributed and out with all the social media everywhere, YouTube.
Just a minute. This is not recorded, or you can clip it off. What I was suggesting is, for your listeners, I'm happy to give the book free of cost if they can but I cannot make it available as a download in the website because it's available for sales in Amazon.
All right, Prab, thank you for being on Nothing Like a Good Book. In your case, 2 books. Cherish or Perish, and Who Banged the Big Bang. Goodbye.
Bye.